This isn't just another Hollywood feud, it's not a tabloid rumor or a petty on-set argument. What we're witnessing is something much deeper, an unraveling. A once promising Disney reboot has spiraled into a full-blown legal standoff with reputations, careers, and a billion-dollar brand hanging in the balance. Gal Gadot isn't responding with tweets or interviews. She's letting the legal documents do the talking. And Rachel Zegler, the rising star who once seemed destined to carry the torch of Disney royalty, has suddenly vanished from the spotlight. But why? What could drive someone so outspoken, so media-savvy, to suddenly fall silent? The answer, insiders say, lies in the sharp edge of a legal warning, 3 of them to be exact. What began as creative disagreements behind the scenes has now escalated into a courtroom Cold War that Disney never saw coming. And the fallout? It's just beginning. It started as a typical box office flop, a big-budget Disney remake that just didn't click with audiences. But behind the scenes of Snow White, something much darker was brewing, something far more explosive than poor reviews or disappointing ticket sales. What began as quiet whispers between cast members has now escalated into a full-blown legal showdown. And at the center of it all, 2 of Hollywood's most talked-about actresses, Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler. Insiders say the behind-the-scenes drama has reached a breaking point. Gadot, known for her composed public image, has reportedly brought in heavyweight legal representation. Her target? Rachel Zegler, her co-star, her on-screen counterpart, and now, some allege, her adversary. According to multiple sources close to the production, Zegler had been preparing to go public with bombshell claims. She was reportedly planning a media blitz, interviews, podcast appearances, a tell-all moment to reshape the Snow White narrative and shift public sympathy in her direction. Her version of events painted a harsh picture, alleging that Gadot was difficult on set, toxic behind the scenes, and partially responsible for the film's failure. But before that plan could unfold, Gadot made her move, quietly, professionally, and with legal firepower. While most stars turn to social media when controversies erupt, Gadot took a different route. She let her legal team speak for her. Reports suggest that not 1, not 2, but 3 legal notices were delivered to Zegler's representatives. The message was crystal clear. If any defamatory claims made it to the press, they'd be met with immediate legal action. And just like that, everything changed. Within days, Zegler's planned appearances were abruptly canceled. Her scheduled interview on The Drew Barrymore Show vanished. A podcast taping was mysteriously removed from listings. Even a rumored tell-all media segment, titled Rachel's Side of the Story, was quietly dropped without explanation. Sources inside the industry say Zegler didn't back off because she had a change of heart. She backed off because she was rattled. The threat of legal consequences was too serious to ignore. And while the public waited for her to speak, Zegler fell silent. For fans who had been following the press tour, the shift was obvious. Zegler, once outspoken, energetic, and ready to clap back at critics, went quiet. Her social media presence dried up. No statements, no interviews, just silence. And in Hollywood, silence is never just silence. It's a message. Industry watchers began to ask the obvious question. If Zegler really had nothing to hide, why did she stop talking so suddenly? Rumors swirled. Some insiders claimed Gadot's team had uncovered inconsistencies in Zegler's version of events. Others said Zegler's media strategy was never fully backed by Disney, and when the legal threats came in, her support evaporated. Either way, the result was the same. The media rollout died before it ever began. And in its place was an eerie vacuum where scandal once threatened to erupt. At first glance, everything looked picture perfect. Disney had lined up its dream duo, Gal Gadot, global icon, ex-Wonder Woman, known for elegance and professionalism, and Rachel Zegler, the fresh-faced newcomer with Broadway roots and a social media-savvy charm. But viewers started noticing cracks in the fairy tale. During interviews, their chemistry was awkward. Smiles didn't quite reach their eyes. Their body language? Stiff, tense, forced. At the Oscars, they stood shoulder to shoulder, yet didn't exchange so much as a glance. The press tour wasn't just rocky, it was uncomfortable to watch, and the tension wasn't just personal. According to those close to the production, the actresses clashed from the early days of filming. The problem? 2 completely different visions for what Snow White was supposed to be. Zegler reportedly pushed for a radical reimagining. A politically empowered princess who didn't need a prince, didn't dream of love, and had no time for the original's classic themes. It was bold, progressive, and divisive. Gadot, on the other hand, wanted something else entirely. A modern update, yes, but one that respected Disney's legacy. Nuance, nostalgia, emotional depth without erasing what made the original beloved. What started as creative differences eventually spiraled into something far more personal. The tension between Zegler and Gadot wasn't just artistic, it was deeply political. Zegler is outspoken on social media. She's used her platform to advocate for progressive causes and voice strong opinions on a variety of issues. Her confidence and conviction earned praise from some and criticism from others. Gadot, meanwhile, is a former soldier in the Israel Defense Forces. She has publicly supported her country on multiple occasions. In the politically polarized world of Hollywood, those views stood in stark contrast to Zegler's. Insiders claim the ideological divide created a tense atmosphere on set. Conversations turned into debates. Personal remarks crossed professional lines. One source described the vibe as a pressure cooker with a countdown. By the time the promotional campaign began, neither actress reportedly wanted to work with the other. Disney, seeing the writing on the wall, tried to separate them, split interviews, staggered red carpet appearances, controlled media opportunities. But the damage had already been done, and audiences could sense it. When Snow White bombed at the box office, everyone started pointing fingers. Publicly, Disney remained silent. But internally, insiders say the situation was in full crisis mode. Executives held emergency meetings, marketing campaigns were paused, potential spin strategies were tested and then scrapped. Zegler, having faced online backlash for her